but when you translate that, so like my favorite bill that we did last year was the last session in January, was the one that would allow nurse midwives and certified midwives and pediatric nurse practitioners to provide general service, provide nursery care and general service hospitals to prevent rural labor and delivery closing. So you translate like the on the ground connection that I have because I was a midwife, and it started with a phone call that said, I cannot, like, I'm going to quit. Like, I cannot handle this. I'm never break down. You know, you imagine waking up in five days. The hospital was going to close their labor delivery for 5 days. And if you were a certified professional midwife, you had to risk going to jail because the closest hospital is in North Carolina. So midwife could go to jail because, this is happening in North Carolina. Midwives are it's crazy. And also the client risks that they're on Medicaid, and the hospital had said, well, if it's an emergency, we'll take. Well, right. You don't want to transfer an emergency when you're in labor and delivery, right? And so, at Virginia Interfaith, right, to get the legislators, explain the issue, figure out what is the problem, get the code language that will, fix the problem. But then what really, like, this everybody engaging in this work, it was a doula from the Danville area, so impacted by the hospital closure, that woke up at 3 a.m. and traveled to, and it was my midwife friend who had made the connection to the doula, and spoke in front of the General Assembly. Right, that led to a unanimous bill, right? Like it takes all of us. It wasn't just one person. And when ordinary people engage in this work, I mean, she just, unanimous bill, not one vote against. And that's unique because when you're in the healthcare space, it can become like a hospital insurance doctor conversation. And the only way to break that, which is ultimately why I'm at Virginia Interfaith, is this is not a doctor hospital, this is about moms and babies.
Yes, like where's the patient in that little circle?
And then it was after Roche spoke, the ER doc lobbyist, or she might have, one of the lobbyists said, we support. Right? I mean, it was just so, and I was like, you did that, right? Like, because they stay neutral. They don't say we support, right? Because they have the unwritten rules. We can maybe do neutral, but we have to be very careful of our peace that we've negotiated. It's people can, right?
Yeah, I think you said another key word, which is prevent. And prevention seems to be a value that policymakers and insurance payers do not understand. They don't seem to understand anything that isn't on fire. And so they don't want to fund it unless it's an emergency. It seems so hard to get people to understand the value of a doula, of education, of all the other things.
Go to primary care to get covered rather than going to the ER to get covered.